All right, so let's get started on making our paper star. What you are going to need is kind of just an old book. I just grabbed one from the thrift store. They're a little bit thicker pages, which might give you a little bit of a problem. They kind of crinkle a little bit on the edges, so I'll show you that. But anyways, I liked the color of it. I like the style, the words in the center, but they really don't need to be anything special or specific. So just grab yourself a book that you can rip pages out of. So the first thing you're going to do is rip your pages out, and obviously they are not going to be the right size. So you need square paper to do this. So what I'm going to do is just take one corner and fold it up so the sides line up on the one edge, and then I'm going to give this a hard press. Now my paper is a little brittle, and so I can go ahead and fold this edge a few times back and forth, and then just, rip it off. Or if you need to, just grab a pair of scissors and then just cut along that edge. So this is going to be our first fold. So if you don't have a first good crease on that, go ahead and fold it again, make it a good crease, open it up. We're going to rotate it and go diagonal corner to corner again. And then we're going to crease these really well. We're going to open up, we're going to flip it over. So the next fold is not going to be the same kind of side as the other previous ones. This one we're going to do a fold in half, so you get two rectangle shape. We're going to open it up. We're going to rotate it, and we are going to fold it again. So just make sure your edges are lined up with the other edge, and as well as your sides, and then crease this really well as well. So you're going to grab this with your two fingers, and you're going to kind of smush this together so they meet. And then what you're going to do is push one flap to the one side and the other flap to the other side. So you'll end up with a square. So again, I've got my rectangle. Because of how it's folded, it's going to just naturally do this. So you want the 2 points or the two edges to go to the outside. And so I'm putting this together, and then one side is going one way, the other side is going the other way. So each side is going to have two flaps, and you're going to end up with a square. So we're going to put this back down. You'll notice that this has a single page right here. Now, if I turned it around, you aren't able to fold anything down because you have the folded edges. So we don't want the folded edges at the top. We want the open edges at the top. So I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to take the right side, and I'm going to fold this corner to kind of right before that center fold line. Doesn't have to be perfect. Rotate that over and repeat for this side. Give it a good crease. I'm going to flip this over. Do the same for the other side. So they are going to, see my paper's a little brittle here, but I'm not going to worry about it. It is a little, they're going to line up on the edge. And I'm going to fold this to the other side. They don't have to be perfect. That's the beauty of this type of star, is really they're imperfect. So what we're going to do now is open this up just a little bit, just enough so we can push this point inside. And so we're just going to kind of push it inside and let it fold back on the crease that we have before. We're going to do the same for this opposite side, and my paper is just a little brittle, so it gives me issues sometimes. All right, so now I've got both of them are pushed inside. I'm going to tuck this all down, and then I'm just going to give it a good press. I'm going to flip it over and repeat it for this side. So I'm going to open it up just a little bit. I'm going to stick this point to the inside, and fold it inwards using those same crease lines and repeat it for the other side. And now I am done. So you're going to repeat that process for a total of 4 or 5 times. So depending on what size of star you want or what you want it to look like, I have some that are already made. So what we're going to do next is glue these together. So for the glue, I did try double-sided tape, and it worked okay, except that the tape I put was only on the center, so these sides didn't really line up very well, and I didn't love it. So I found that just a standard glue stick works really well. So I am just going to glue down the center and along the outside edges. Then we're going to just grab a second star piece. We're going to lay it on top so they line up on each other. And we're just going to repeat that process until they are all glued and stacked together. I'm going to tuck that. Yeah, I've got some extra tears. This paper wasn't super delightful. So again, I'll show you the difference between the 4-pointed star and the 5-pointed star, but really it's just not as full. But so I'm going to grab this one, put it down, and then our last one. So again, I just put the glue along the outside edges. Looks like my glue stick is kind of dying here. It's kind of clumpy, but it works. All right, so my last one goes right on top, just like the others. Then I'm just going to make sure that this is pressed down well, so it gets a good glue everywhere it needs to be, because the last glue we are going to put is on one side. So we're just going to glue this edge again. Then we're going to open up our star and squish them together as best we can. So I've got my glue down. I'm going to open the star up, and I'm going to put this side and stick it to the other side. So I'm going to grab that, and then I'm going to make sure that it lines up okay, and then kind of press it down with my fingers. Maybe if I need to open up some parts so I can get that glued down really well. And then we are done. So this is, and you can count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pointed star. But they are so cute. So what you're going to do now is make a hole to hang it. So I didn't use the outside, so you can see it's kind of double-sided. But I found a point on the inside here. So this is like an inside point, and it kind of goes sideways where the other ones are, front and back. So I'm going to grab this, and then I'm going to use just a simple hole punch. I'm going to make a hole at the top, just like that. Super easy. And then I can use either a string, a ribbon, or a ornament clip. So here are some other stars. This one again is the 4-point. So 1, 2, 3, 4 versus the 5-point. So you can see it's just a little bit larger. The paper might be also larger. So these could be all kinds of different sizes depending on the size of square that you start with. No matter what size you start with, you just want all 5 pieces to be the same. So whatever you start with, just make sure all the other ones are the same, And then you can see I just punched a hole. I didn't have any like ornament hangers, so I just seriously used a paper clip. But these hang super easy, super cute. You can put them anywhere you want. I have like a Christmas tree that is an aspen or something, and it's just white bark basically with branches, and then it's just got its own lights. And so I just have been making and hanging these on there randomly. So that is how you make folded paper stars.